Good morning. Today I am inviting some younger members of my Facebook family. I am going to invite them to watch this video because it's as much for them as it is for you parents out there. It's a little chilly today where I live. It's a little dreary and damp, but summer is coming. And we've already noticed that the children are out playing. They are at the park. They are sometimes out of your sight. And this show is an important topic that a viewer, or a few viewers actually, have messaged me about. And it's entitled Keeping Secrets. And this is something you should teach your children never to do. To keep secrets from you, their parents, or a trusted friend, or a trusted teacher, if they get into trouble. You know, there's people who message me all the time and say, I'm concerned that my child might be being bullied and not tell me, or that someone might be messing with my child. Maybe it's an adult. Maybe it's a family member. And I just don't know. Well, here's my advice. Ask. Ask your child. Let your child know that they can come to you if anybody is hurting them, abusing them verbally or physically, even if it is a family member, even if it is grandma or grandpa, or Uncle Joe or Aunt Jane. And you need to talk to your children. And you can talk to your children no matter how young or old they are. You really can. And it's not hard. And it's interesting that, I don't know, I don't have children. Some people accuse me of hating children. And of course, that's not true. And perhaps I should have been a mother, and I might have been a damn good one. But when people ask me for my advice, here's what I said. Don't do the Spanish Inquisition. It doesn't work. Don't sit your child down in a chair and say, now, what happened? That doesn't work. A great way to start a conversation is by doing something to include your child in a conversation. Make their favorite cookies. If you suspect something's going on, make a batch of their favorite cookies. And when they come home, sit them down and say, hey, guess what I did today? I made cookies. Why don't we sit down and have some together? So I made cookies today. I did some laundry. I ran some errands. What did you do today? How was your day? And let them talk. Just let them talk. See what they tell you. And if they have just been to visit a family member or someone that you're not sure of, that you think might be not quite right, talk to your children about the visit. So what did you do at Grandma's today? What did you do with Grandpa today? What did you do at Aunt Jane's or Aunt Susan's or Uncle Larry's? I'm making these names up, of course. So if anybody out there is named that, please don't think I'm talking about you. I'm not. I'm just pulling names out of a hat. But, we're just playing along here. Ask if you had fun. Did you have fun? Did Aunt Jane make you laugh? Did Aunt Jane do anything that was funny? You can find out a lot by just asking open-ended questions. And by the way, Grandma wants you to come back next week. Would you like to go back? Are you looking forward to that? Would that be something you want to do? And if the child is at all trepidatious or like, I don't know, kind of don't want to go, then you need to find out more. And it's not easy. But simply by opening the line of communication, you've already done a great thing. Now, we all know that predators, including classmates, older kids who bully younger kids, and adults who bully kids, they threaten their families. If you tell, I'm going to kill your parents, I'm going to kill your dog, I'm going to kill your brothers and sisters, I'm going to hurt your family. This is the first thing you must make sure your children know. And this is a great way to do it, especially with the little ones. Nobody is ever going to hurt mommy and daddy. We're superheroes. Mommy and Daddy are Batman. We're Spider-Man. We have superpowers. If anybody ever tells you that you need to keep a secret from us because if you don't, they're going to hurt us, they're not, because we're stronger than them. Don't ever keep a secret from us because of that, because you're worried about us. We have superpowers. And the second you tell us that you're being harmed by anybody, we will stop it. Because we are stronger than the bad guys. We have superpowers. Believe it or not, it will work. Your children need to see you not only as the role models they should be having, rather than the TV stars and the movie stars and the supermodels and all that crap. They should see you as not invincible, because of course bad things happen to people. People get sick, parents get sick. But they should see you as stronger than any outside influence, any bully at school. Anyone who's messing with them, they need to see you as stronger than that person or those people. They need to know that you have their back. Whatever you tell me, it won't shock me, even if it does shock you. It won't shock me, and you're not in trouble. You are not in trouble no matter what you tell me. You can tell me anything. And there's another interesting part of this, which is a trusted family friend. And believe it or not, I'm a trusted family friend. I am. I am always there, and I have given several children, several young teenagers in my life my phone numbers, my husband's phone number. If you are ever in trouble and you don't want to call your parents or you're afraid, you call me or my husband, and we will have your back. And we have had their backs. Quite a few years ago, and I'm not going to name names or go through the whole scenario again, but quite a few years ago, we were involved in something where a young girl was messed with. Not raped, but was inappropriately touched by an adult. And she told. She immediately came to the adults and said, this man did this. And what I loved about this story is that, first of all, we got involved very peripherally. But we knew the young lady. And the first thing I said to her, she was very upset. I said, I am so proud of you. So proud of you. Because you came and you told. You told. And then my husband, he was really upset. He says, oh gosh, I hope the cops find this dude before I do. But my husband also had her back. A strong man who went to her and said, this is wrong. And we will make sure this guy is punished. And I am proud of you for talking as well. We are so proud of you. And then the other amazing thing that happened is all the friends her age that were with her when this happened stood up for her as well. They didn't keep a secret. They went and they gave their statements and they reported that, yeah, she's telling the truth. It happened. We saw it. They stood up for their friend. So important, so fabulous. I am so proud of all of those kids. But yes, my husband and I have your backs too. If you happen to be fortunate enough to know us, you can come to us and tell us if somebody's messing with you. And we will make sure, because we also have superpowers, we'll make sure you get help. And little kids, no. At the Bay, the first year I was at the Bay, I met a lovely family. And this woman, wonderful woman, had a little grandson. And he was at the beach one day, and her trailer was in the back of the park. And he knew me. And he fell and scratched his knee up, and it was bleeding. And he comes walking up the path, and he says, Paula, I hurt my knee. I said, come on in here. He said, could you have a Band-Aid? I said, no, come on in here. Washed it up, put a Band-Aid on it, and then I put him on my golf cart and drove him to his grandma's trailer. I wasn't going to let him walk with a hurt knee. And that was great. that little Joey had the wherewithal to say, hey, I know that Paula is a friend of my grandma's and I got hurt and I can go to her instead of walking all the way to the back with my hurt knee, maybe getting it infected. I mean, come on. And of course, he was welcome in my home and I patched him up and took him home. It's important that children know the adults in their lives they can count on if they're in trouble. And at the Bay, yes, any child can come to my trailer and say, I'm hurt, I'm in trouble, my parents are up at the trailer, or I can't find my parents. You can come to me. Now, yes, I will still be the same curmudgeon-y old woman who yells at you if you disrespect my property or yell around my house or I get mad at you. But I'm always going to also be the kind neighbor woman who will open her home to you, patch you up if you get hurt and you're way in the back, and I'll drive you home. If you can't find your parents and somebody is messing with you or you're in trouble, you can come to me. And I want all the kids at the Bay to know that. My neighbor kids know it. I may yell at them one day, but the next day I'll be putting a Band-Aid on their bruised knee. That's the way I roll. I expect children to respect me and my property, but I also want them to know that if they're ever in trouble, my husband and I will be there to help them. And this is what you parents have to do, because I'll tell you what, as much as sometimes you think your kids hate your guts, their biggest fear is that something's going to happen to you. I know because I lived it. I fought with my mom all the time, but my worst fear was whenever she went out of the house, that she wasn't going to come home, that something would happen. Some of it was because I knew that my grandmother would get custody of me. Even at a young age, I knew that, and that terrified me because I hated my grandmother. She was nuts. Everybody knows that. She was not in any position to raise a young child like myself. So I was terrified that something would happen to my mother. And your children are also terrified that something will happen to you. You have to make them understand that nobody is going to hurt you just because they told you that they're messing with them. You have to be your children's advocate, their superhero. Let them know they can come to you and tell you anything. And that keeping secrets is never the way to go. Secrets fester, like a bad tooth gets worse, or a cut that doesn't get a Band-Aid gets infected. Secrets are bad. And your children should know that they never need to keep a secret from you. And it doesn't matter who is messing with them. You have to let them know that they can tell you anything. And you will have their back. You'll be on their side. It's hard for children to understand that. That's why you have to say it often, regularly. And when your children come home, no matter how busy you've been all day or what's going on in your world, make time to listen. Listen. Ask an open-ended question and let them talk. And listen. Don't be on your phone. Don't be watching the TV. Listen to what your children are telling you. And they may not just come out and say it. You might have to decode it. But if you really listen, you're going to get it, because that is your child. You gave birth to that child. And you love that child. And you're going to get the message that they're trying to send to you, even if they send it in a roundabout way. You'll get it. That's why you're the mom and you're the dad. That's why you have the privilege of raising these beautiful, wonderful children. You got that privilege, don't blow it. Listen. Ask. Talk. And by all means, always show them love shows and grows. That love, this is the mantra of this show, love shows and grows. That you will always love them, that there is nothing they can tell you that they will lose your love. And that if somebody is messing with them, it's not their fault. And for you teenagers out there who may see this show, and I hope this show does, I hope that the teens that I'm going to share this show with share it with their friends. Don't keep secrets. If you can't trust your own parents, go to your best friend's parents. Go to somebody and tell them. The only person that gets truly hurt by keeping a secret is the person whose secret it is to keep. And no one can help you if we don't know what's going on. We're not mind readers. We need to know what's happening. And if you don't think we care or you don't think we're interested, that's on you, because we do care. We are interested. We want to know what's going on. So talk to us. Talk to the adults in your life. Tell them what's going on. You kids are smart. You know who you can trust. You know who's going to always have your back. And for those of you who know me personally and you know my husband, Jason, personally, that's in the bag. That's a given. We got your backs. Always. Make sure as a parent, especially this summer with kids going to day camps and running to the park and outside, kind of out of your sight sometimes, running around, that you know who they're meeting. And if they're meeting new people, new kids, new teachers, new camp counselors, that you ask them what they think of these people, even if they're real little. Say, how do you like the camp counselor? How do you like the person who does arts and crafts with you? Ask them, let them talk, and then listen. Really listen. And don't be afraid to ask questions of the adults in their lives. You could make a mistake, but I think the biggest mistake you could ever make is to not listen or to brush it off as an imagination. Kids do have amazing imaginations, but sometimes their imaginations are actually happening in real life to them. Ask and listen. Big important thing. And make sure that your kids know that the real superheroes sit at the dining room table with them every night for dinner. Have a great summer, everybody. Be safe. Know where your children are. Know who they're with. And talk. And especially listen. You're the superheroes. Now it's time to act like it. Political Paula, out.